Ambassador Trell adjusted his environmental suit, the fabric rustling as he prepared to face the human delegation. For 30 cycles, the Galactic Concord had maintained peaceful relations with these strange bipeds from a hostile world classified as extreme condition. Humans called it Earth. The rest of the galaxy called it Deathworld 7. "Are you certain we should proceed?" asked his aide Vox. "The reports from orbital surveillance are concerning." "They're merely exercises," Trell replied, mandibles clicking softly in what his species considered a reassuring gesture. Humans have always been militaristic. It's their nature coming from such a harsh environment. The meeting chamber doors slid open. Captain Marcus Reed entered, his military uniform pristine but his face grim. Behind him walked 4 other humans, all with the same determined expression that Trell had learned to recognize as trouble. "Ambassador," Reed said with a curt nod, "the time for diplomatic niceties has ended." Trell's secondary heart fluttered. "I don't understand. Has something happened?" "Your fleet has blockaded 3 of our colony worlds in the past week. The Concord claims it's for security inspections, but we know better. The inspections are standard protocol." "No," Reed interrupted, placing both palms flat on the table. "They're preparation for what your High Council voted on yesterday." The room fell silent. How could they know about the vote? It was sealed at the highest levels. Reed continued, "Resolution 87X containment and gradual reduction of Deathworld species expansion. He planned to slowly strangle our colonies while pretending it's all just regulations." Vox chittered nervously. "These accusations are baseless. How dare you?" "We have the minutes of the meeting," said Dr. Anna Wells, the human science officer, sliding a data crystal across the table. "Your encryption isn't as good as you think it is." Trell felt a cold dread creep through his exoskeleton. Humans weren't supposed to be capable of breaching Concord security. They had been carefully kept away from advanced technology, human just enough to trade but never enough to threaten. "You don't understand," Trell said, abandoning pretense. "Your species reproduces too quickly, adapts too easily. You survived a world that should have killed you. You've colonized planets that other species found uninhabitable. In 3 decades, you've expanded farther than the Xilvari did in 2 centuries. And that frightens you?" Reed stated. It wasn't a question. "It should frighten you." Trell's composure cracked. "You know what the Concord calls humans behind closed doors. The patient predators. You smile and trade and build your colonies while we watch your military exercises, your combat simulations, your adaptation to every environment we expose you to." Reed's expression didn't change. "We've been patient, yes. We've followed your regulations, accepted your guidance, pretended not to notice when our ships mysteriously malfunctioned near your technological centers. We played tame." The human delegation stood in unison. "Not anymore," Reed declared. "What have you done?" Trell whispered. Commander Liam Jones, the tactical officer, answered. 2 hours ago, Earth Command activated Protocol Awakening. Our dormant fleets have mobilized from hiding places throughout Concord space." "Impossible," Vox stammered. "We would have detected." "You were looking for engines and metal," Dr. Wells said. "Not asteroids with humans living inside them for years waiting. Not ships disguised as debris. Not colonies that were actually military installations with populations trained from birth for this day." Trell's translator struggled with the idiom Reed uttered next. "The wolf has shed its sheep's clothing. We're not here to negotiate," Reed continued. "We're here to inform you that the blockades around our colonies will disperse immediately. The Concord will acknowledge humanity's sovereignty and our right to settle any world we can survive on, which, as you've noticed, is quite a lot of them." "And if we refuse?" Trell asked, already knowing the answer. "Then we stop pretending that we've been playing by your rules all this time," Reed replied. "Those military exercises you've been monitoring, they're nothing compared to what we can actually do." On cue, the room's holographic display activated. It showed Concord ships throughout human space suddenly surrounded by vessels appearing seemingly from nowhere, from inside gas giants, from beneath planetary crusts, from the dark sides of moons. "We've had hyperspace technology for 15 years, Jones explained. "We reverse-engineered it while you thought we were still struggling with basic FTL. We kept using the old drives, so we wouldn't know." Trell sank back into his chair. The Council won't accept this. There are 27 species in the Concord. Humans are just one. True, Reed agreed. But we're the one that evolved on a planet trying to kill us every day. We're the ones who survived predators, disasters, plagues, and our own wars. We didn't want conflict, Ambassador. We genuinely sought peaceful cooperation. Then why? Because you planned to cage us, Dr. Wells interjected, and nothing from a death world ever stays caged for long. As if on cue, Trell's communication device chimed with an emergency signal from the Concord fleet. The humans have control of our weapon systems, the message read. All ships. Somehow they're inside our networks. Reed's smile was without humor. We've been inside your networks for years, Ambassador. We just never had reason to show our hand until now. What do you want? Trell asked. A seat at the table, Reed answered simply. Equal standing. Not the scraps you've been giving us. Humanity won't be contained, but we don't want war either. We just ended the charade of being your obedient newcomers. As Trell looked into the human's eyes, he understood at last why his species had always felt uneasy around these Deathworlders. They weren't just survivors. They were conquerors who had chosen to play at diplomacy. And now they were done playing.